Hey yo guys, what's up and welcome back to Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're getting our first impressions of the brand new album from Bloody Hammers titled Songs of Unspeakable Terror. Alright, so Bloody Hammers is a band that not a lot of people talk about. We've reviewed them on this channel before. We did their last album, which came out in 2019, called The Summoning. It got 2 toe tags, believe it or not. This is a band that we don't think you guys should be sleeping on, but we're also not sure if a lot of you guys would like this, because we tend to have a lot of fans on this channel who are into like a lot of deathcore, really death metal sort of stuff. This is more along the lines of like maybe like rock metal or hard rock metal, like ghost type of stuff, just plain heavy metal. But I definitely think it's worth checking out. We reacted to a video from this band that released a month or so ago called Hands of the Ripper. That was a really cool song. It got me hyped for this album, and I'm excited to hear what this sounds like.
So, Bloody Hammers. This is a pretty cool band. I honestly think there aren't many bands nowadays that really have this sound. Like, they're kind of just a classic heavy metal sound. You know, like your Black Sabbath and what have you. So, you know, that's kind of unique for them already, is that you don't really see much of that genre nowadays. But, good riffs, good stuff. We did check out The Summoning last year, and it was a really good album. It got 2 toe tags, but I didn't really find that myself going back to it that much. But, you know, with the song that we did do the reaction for, I enjoyed that. So hopefully the album is going to follow suit with how much I like that song. And with that being said, we're going to listen to Songs of Unspeakable Terror for the very first time in its entirety, and we'll be right back to give you guys our first impressions, so stay put. Alright, we just listened to Songs of Unspeakable Terror for the very first time in its entirety, and I'm going to take the forward to say that this album was not too bad, but it wasn't amazing. And I'm just going to get into what my favorite tracks are from this album. That was tracks number 2 and 4. Those are my highest rated. Hands of the Ripper and Not of This Earth. Hands of the Ripper is the song that we actually reacted to. And I love how this is just a dirty shuffle. And the effects on the guitar are so nice. I love the groove of this song. It's one of the most unique songs on the album as well. It's just awesome song. And Not of This Earth, I really like the melody there. I don't know why, but for some reason I was getting Mastodon vibes from it, which is kind of weird because that band's pretty removed genre-wise, so not quite sure why I was getting the vibe there, but I liked how straightforward it was with a bunch of sprinkles in there from the drums. Really good vocal harmonies. And you know what? There are really good vocal harmonies throughout the entirety of this album. I think the vocals of this band are pretty strong. There are some songs where I'm a little iffy on how it sounds, but overall, I think the melodies are a really big draw for this band, especially because of how simple their music is. Now, the kind of issue I had with this album is that there were a lot of songs that started sounding the same. And, you know, to mention, A Night to Dismember, which is the first track on the album, kind of has a punk vibe like Misfits, Green Day, what have you. And, you know, I liked it at first because it was the first track, but once I got to track 6, Waking the Dead, it started to feel monotonous. Because once I got to Waking the Dead, I thought that I had heard like everything in that song already on the album. It didn't feel like there was anything new being added. And that started to happen as the album went. We Are the Damned, The Brain That Wouldn't Die, and I Spit on Your Corpse all sounded like the same song to me, really. Maybe some slight differences that I might have liked here and there, but overall it practically sounded like the same song, which is unfortunate. But there was still some good stuff in there though, like Night of the Witch had a really cool riff, cool melodies, and I really like the talky verses there. There was an awesome jam happening there in the bridge, and I really like that a lot. But if you really want to make that song like elite level, you put a solo in there. I was listening to it thinking, this would totally be killer if it had a solo. I would have loved that, but that's okay. I also liked Lucifer's Light because it was something different. It was kind of a ballad in a sense, a cool, slow, brooding vibe. There was a lot more to that song than there was for a lot of the rest of the songs on this album, so it really stuck out as well. But overall, not bad. I'm gonna have to see how a lot of the kind of similar sounding songs are gonna do throughout the rest of the week, if it gets too monotonous or not. We'll have to see. So Vile, let's see what you think.
Okay, so I'm gonna just say that it's been a while since I've listened to this band other than that first video we reacted to. I've got a couple other songs in my my playlist that come on from time to time, but this album is definitely a lot more punk than I remember this band sounding. I don't know if that's new or something they've done before, or maybe I'm just not remembering their vibe correctly, but there's punk beats in almost every song here, and it was actually to a bit of a fault. It started off okay, and I was like, all right, this is fine, you know, get some Misfits vibes, and you know, I'm not really big on punk, but I can definitely recognize punk bands or punk beats and punk riffs when I hear them. And this definitely has that, or at least it's that same type of angle. But it got to the point where it was getting monotonous, and the second half of the album, as far as my ratings go, is a lot lower than the first half. The first half was definitely stronger for me, but I don't think it was necessarily because the latter half of the album was worse than the first half. I think I was just getting fatigue on the beats. The riffing also tended to be a lot of just, you know, power chord strumming and, you know, just basically somebody just cranking the amp up to 10 and just wailing away on it, which is, again, something you see a lot in punk. But I think for me, the highlight here, at least on a first impressions, and this is probably going to last through the week if I am taking a guess here, but the vocals are actually a real highlight of this band for me. I don't know the guy's name, I should probably look it up, but he's got such great tonal fluctuation. His cadence is really great. He just has a really cool voice, and it's all clean vocal. He doesn't really do any growls or any screams. He sings kind of at the same level most of the time, but he does a lot of, you know, tonal fluctuations and a lot of cool little things with his voice to make it interesting. I don't know, I just really love the guy's voice, and then there's a lot of harmonies, like self-harmonies, you know, a little bit of effects here and there, at least I think there is. I'm not exactly sure, I can't really pinpoint exactly what's going on, but whatever it is, it's working for me, and it makes me want to turn the music up and really kind of just jam out to it, because that's the kind of music this is. This is fun music, and it's music that's energetic without being fast and brutal, which to me is why it fits in the metal category. Some people might call this hard rock, or they might just straight up call it punk, but I think it's got enough heaviness in the riffing and the aesthetics, the lyrical content, to be metal to me. Anyways, let's go over some tracks that I thought were some standout tracks. Hands of the Ripper is my highest rated track. I don't know if that's because I'm familiar with the song, because we did a reaction. I did listen to it a couple more times after the reaction, so I'm more familiar with it. I think that's a great song, but it is my highest rated one. Some other songs that I thought were also good are the tracks that followed that, which was Witchfinder General and Not of This Earth. So Not of This Earth, again, I have notes about the vocal performance, you know, the tonal fluctuation, the phrasing. There's a lot of cool things on the vocals I wrote down. I wrote that it's just the kind of song I just want to turn up and jam to, because that's how I feel about a lot of these songs. It's just fun, you know, it's powerful music, but not powerful in the sense where like it's got a lot of meaning to it. It's powerful in the sense where like you can tell they're just rocking out and just going ham on their instruments. You know, the drums have a lot of attack to them. The bass drum feels nice and thick. The snare drum has a nice thick attack sound to it. And I really like that stuff. I think it's mixed well, sounds good. I'm gonna enjoy listening to this throughout the week. I think I'm a little bit worried that the kind of monotony of the songs and the style of the songs is gonna start becoming a factor for me. So I hope that doesn't happen, but you never know. We're gonna listen to the album for as much as we possibly can throughout the week, and we'll be back in a week. Hopefully we'll be back together and not in separate places, because this is kind of weird. But yeah, we'll be back in a week to give you guys our full and final review of Songs of Unspeakable Terror. But that's it from us for now. So be sure to like the video, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Let us know what you guys think of Bloody Hammers and this album. Guys, check it out. If you guys are curious Or even if you're not curious and you want to know what we're talking about, just give it a chance. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. But leave your thoughts down below. I'm Vile Self.
And I'm TV Fish.
We'll see you guys on the next video.